Hello! Thank you so much for joining me today for my discussion of my favorite books that I read in 2018. I don't really feel like spending the brain power to try to rank these from most favorite to least favorites. So I'm just going to talk about them in chronological order, starting with the books that I read earlier in the year and then ending with the book that I finished most recently. I don't really want to rank them because I love these books for so many different reasons, and it would just be weird comparing them. I just want to share those many different reasons that I love them with you, and if I can inspire somebody who's watching this video to pick up a book off this list and they end up loving it, that would be so awesome. A lot of the books on this list have been made into movies because apparently that's a trend that's going on right now, and nobody has original ideas anymore. And if you happen to have seen the movie and you didn't like it, but you haven't read the book, I hope that you don't let that skew your perception of the book or put you off from reading it, because all of these books are so good. I haven't seen some of the movies that these books have been turned into, but if I have and I liked it, I will definitely mention it. I'm going to start off cheating a little bit because I read this book in 2017, but I just loved it a lot. And it's not like I have a favorite books of 2017 video, so I'm just going to insert it into this one. It is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. This is my favorite book that I've read by John Green. And I've also only read about 2.3 John Green books, including Turtles All the Way Down, so I don't really have a large data pool to pull from, but Turtles All the Way Down was so good. It's about this girl named Asa. She's a teenager with OCD, and honestly, I feel like that's all you need to know, because I feel like the book doesn't have much of a plot. It's more character driven. That character being the protagonist, Asa. John Green actually also has OCD, so he is pulling from some of his own experiences, I'm sure, when he was writing this book. I didn't mind the fact that it didn't really have much of a plot. We spent a lot of time in Asa's head, and I just found all of her thoughts so interesting. I thought it was kind of enlightening to get a better idea of what OCD is like for some people. I also felt like so many of Asa's thoughts were honestly really relatable. If you deal with anxiety on any level, or depression or mental illness, I feel like you will be able to relate to Asa's thoughts. John Green had such a profound, poignant way of describing Asa's feelings, emotions, and thoughts with metaphors and just really beautiful prose. It hurt so much seeing some of the things that Asa had to go through and seeing her journey as a character, but it was also really fulfilling seeing her grow as a character. One of the messages that the book did a really good job of sending was, it's okay not to be okay. Take life day by day. You can get through this no matter what you're going through. The second book on the list is The Circle by Dave Eggers. The Circle takes place in the near future, and there's this behemoth of a technology company called The Circle. Imagine something on the scale of Google and Apple and Facebook, but then like combine all of those, and The Circle is larger than the sum of all of these companies. The main character, May, is working at a dead-end office job, something she doesn't really enjoy, but then she gets the opportunity to work for The Circle. And I forgot what her job was. I think she was just like a customer service operator or something. And the reason that I liked this book was because I felt like it made me think more critically about privacy on the internet, the use of your data on the internet, and the effect of social media on not only society as a whole, I suppose, but also just the way that it impacts my life. The way that Dave Eggers presented all of these ideas, I felt like he did it by having all of these people in positions of power who had crazy radical ideas, and it was just so shocking seeing their perspectives. I felt like The Circle was a really good piece of social commentary on the world that we live in today and the way the communication age has affected people's lives. And I just really appreciated that it really made me think differently. I honestly read a lot of lighthearted books. It was refreshing to pick up something that was a little different from what I usually read. Number 3, Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick's book is my favorite book that I've read by a comedian slash actress. I felt like I was constantly laughing out loud when I was reading this book. It was just so funny. I thought it was interesting that Anna Kendrick presented herself as like not a nice person, not a smart person, really not anybody special. She's a scrappy little nobody. I mean, it's in the title, but I thought that kind of made her more like real because she doesn't really want to present herself in idealized fashion. I thought it was really cool to read about her life as a kid because I didn't know that she started on Broadway like either when she was in elementary or middle school. Like that is really cool, and it was interesting reading about her experiences on Broadway and being in school and being an actress that nobody knew, and how Twilight helped pay her bills. By the way, I feel like I'm one of the only few people who remember that Anna Kendrick was actually in the Twilight movies. I liked reading her thoughts, and it was cool getting an inside look on what it's like to go to award shows. If you're just looking for a really funny book that will make you happy and bring up your mood, I think you should read Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. This next book, number 4, means a lot to me. It is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. It is the book that inspired Love, Simon. I can't help but associate the book with the movie. In my head, I associate them very closely with each other because I remember seeing the trailers for Love, Simon come out and being excited that other people were excited for a story about a gay teenager in mainstream media. I was like, whoa, this is getting a lot of hype. That's so cool. And I hadn't read the book, so I picked it up and read it in like 3 days. I feel like I just sped through it because the book was so funny. I had such a good time reading this book. It had a really diverse cast of characters. It was relatable because the main character is gay. I remember just being so happy seeing this story in mainstream media and seeing that other people were excited about it too. It was so comforting. I felt like something this big was helping destigmatize gay characters in mainstream media. This book was hilarious. I thought the romance was really cute. I thought it was so wholesome seeing Simon's dynamic with his friend group and with his family. I love Simon's relationship with his family. I feel like you don't always find a family or parents that are very present in YA novels, but Simon's relationship with his family is so great. If you've watched the movie and you haven't read the book and you had some problems with the movie, I honestly feel like those problems are resolved in the book. The story, if you don't know, is about how Simon's a closeted gay teen and he starts emailing this other guy from his school who's also a closeted gay teen. They don't know each other's identities, but they just start talking through email and form a friendship through this pen pal type relationship. All the relationships are really organic. I enjoyed it so much. I love the movie. The movie was a great feel-good rom-com, so I think you should definitely read the book and watch the movie. Okay, the next one is also gay. It's The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. And I feel like nobody on BookTube have actually read this book to review it and talk about it. I feel like people just saw that it was being made into a movie and then it got hype and they put it on their TBR. I feel like not a lot of people have actually gotten around to reading this book, but I think it is so good. Oh my gosh. And it takes place in the like late 80s, and it follows this girl named Cameron from ages 12 to 16. She is a closeted gay girl who lives in a small town in Montana, and like, mind you, this is the 80s. So, a different world than we live in now. And she also starts living with her ultra-religious anti-gay aunt after her parents die in a car crash at age 12. And Cameron kind of starts forming this guilt complex that maybe the reasons her parents died was because she was kissing a girl on the night that they died. And Emily M. Danforth is such a skilled author. Everything felt so organic. I felt so many emotions reading this book, like from sadness to white hot anger. I felt like the ending was really cathartic. It was a great coming of age story, especially about a gay protagonist. The writing was beautiful. When I finished it, I felt like I had read a classic. Like I felt like in 50 years, you're going to be talking about this book because it is a really great character journey with beautiful writing and offers a perspective that you don't really hear a lot about. Even though it does take place in the 80s, it is definitely still relatable and relevant. It doesn't feel outdated at all. It's nice seeing people who are like me in literature and in media. I do have a copy of the next book on this list. I'm pretty sure my parents bought it for me when I was a kid, or I probably got it at a school book fair. Yeah, this one's a childhood favorite, and it is a reread, but I did reread it in 2018, so it's going on the list. It is Ella Enchanted by Gail, Carson, Levine. I don't know if you read this when you were a kid. I don't know how big of a part the Ella Enchanted movie was in your childhood, but I used to watch that all the time. It played on Disney Channel a lot, and I even recorded it on my VCR so I could watch it whenever I wanted to, and I loved it. Is it a high quality movie? No. Did I enjoy the heck out of it? Yes. Do I still enjoy the heck out of it? Yes. Do I love Anne Hathaway? Yes. This book is a middle grade level. It's about a girl named Ella who had the misfortune when she was a baby of having an enchantment put on her that causes her to be obedient. She has to follow any order that anybody gives her, which, as you can predict, is a little problematic in life, not really something that you'd want to deal with. It's also a Cinderella retelling, so there are elements of the Cinderella story in this book, like a prince and a romance. But I feel like Gail Carson Levine puts her own spin on it, and it feels pretty fresh. A part of the reason that I do love this book so much is because of the nostalgia, and that it is one of my favorite childhood books, and it just brings back great memories, but it's also just a really great book. I know I've read this book probably 2 or 3 times before, but I still found myself not being able to put it down. It was just so engaging and fun. The last book on this list happens to be a really good book to end the list with, because I feel like I would recommend this book to anybody, no matter what your taste is. It's Wonder by R.J. Palacio. It's about a boy named August. He's 10 years old, and he was born with a very rare combination of medical conditions that made his face not physically form correctly, which not only causes medical issues and complications, but also causes him to look very abnormal. He's been homeschooled his whole life, but his parents think it's about time that he starts socializing with other kids his age. So they decide that it's about time August to enter public school. You know, it's hard enough entering middle school. It's even harder probably if you've never been to a public school before, and it's especially hard because August looks the way that he does, and a lot of people are put off by anything they find abnormal, so he has to try to make friends and deal with mean people and navigate all of that. I thought this book was so beautiful. It's told in multiple perspectives. All of the different points of view added so much dimension to the story. The world around August was so fleshed out because of all of these multiple perspectives. I feel like it was cool seeing the impact that he made on other people's lives, and also what's going on in the heads of the people around him. Whoa, the sun got really bright. Okay. Aw, man, I hope this doesn't look weird. It's like on my face. Okay, you know what? We're almost done with the video, so we're just gonna deal with it. I felt like this book did such... Yeah, this is not working. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I felt like this book did such a good job of showing the capacity that people have for kindness and just the beauty of humanity. It was such a wholesome story. It was so great seeing August go through this journey of getting through his first year of public school / middle school. This book was a wonder. Well, that's all 7 books on my list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found a new book to possibly pick up and read. Please share with me what one or some of your favorite books of 2018 were. I'd love some more recommendations. Tell me why you loved them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful new year. Goodbye!